Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. Don't forget to support the channel with a like and subscribe for more updates, and leave your comments and questions below. I will be glad to answer it. So starting with Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart, yesterday night we were expecting still one more wave towards the downside, in case, of course, that our scenario here, bearish scenario with Impulse, did not finish yet. However, this did not happen, which claim us, of course, that we have bottomed so far. So it is good to remove this and come back to our normal analysis, where we have finished our impulse with double 1-2, where we can see 1-2 in red, 1-2 for orange, 3-4-5, finishing the 3 in red, and then one more wave, 4 in red, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course, finishing exactly the wave 5 here in red perfectly. Our impulse is almost done, knowing that, of course, your wave 4 here did not really range so much as the wave 2 in red here, which it was supposed to be a little bit, because of course now your wave 4 here in orange did well, right? Did well, almost the double time, where we can see we have topped here for the wave 4 exactly on the double time of a wave 2. So perfect. However, it doesn't matter. Time is never been a rule in Elliott Wave. It is always a guideline. However, all what we need to see as a pattern is 1-2, 1-2, 3, where our highest volume was exactly in our wave 3, perfect, then 4-5, lower volume, perfect, 4-5, again a lower volume. And now what we are looking at is a high volume again, but this time towards the upside. And that might be a very nice indication of a reversal, where we can see also on the 1 hour chart here, we can see a formation of a diagonal. 1, 2, or even 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Very nice. If we go to the 15-minute chart, we can see, of course, this formation of the diagonal, where we can see clearly here as a zigzag towards the upside, zigzag towards the downside, another zigzag upside, down, and then finishing this wave 5. Nice. So we're gonna indicate, of course, here our diagonal, just to keep it up. Here we go. So now let's see what's gonna be. Is it corrective or is it impulsive? So what we can consider now, of course, could be a correction as a zigzag, right? A, B, and a C, or it could be an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So yeah, let's watch and see, of course, internally what's gonna happen today. However, in both case scenarios, whether it is a zigzag or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are looking for 3 waves towards the downside. And of course, this will give us more information whether we are in a correction or whether we are in an impulse, or maybe more lower prices, right? Nobody knows. So, however, it's a good indication of reversal so far. Let's watch and see, right? At least we did not get 3 waves correction, which means more lower prices, right? So far we have a motive wave here that it indicates for higher prices later on. So what are our possibilities now? Let's check our possibilities again from our deep analysis. As usual on this channel, we always do the deep analysis. We figure out all the possible scenarios between bullish and bearish, and during the price action of the week, we always compare and we see which scenario is always possible, or even the most possible. So of course there is some changes here in the percentage now that we have to do. So let's first take a look what is going on now in these scenarios. So in terms of bearish scenario, so your wave here did not finish yet, right? your wave 5 did not finish yet, and you are possibly looking for 3 waves up as a zigzag, as we mentioned, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again for a wave 5, right? In that case scenario, of course, then in case that happened, of course we are still looking towards the downside, and we are looking after for 3 waves towards the upside, and then still looking for another wave, of course, towards the downside, finishing kind of a zigzag after an impulse, correction, and an impulse, right? We don't forget our CME gap, which has been, since 2 weeks never closed, right? So we will see. So in that case scenario, of course, also we are looking, in case we didn't get a wave 5 and your wave 5 has even finished here, it is also possible that we get 3 waves up as well as a zigzag here, right? And then move down again, right? With 3 waves, 3 waves corrective as a zigzag, right? In that case scenario, it's gonna keep for us just one bullish scenario, right? Which is a 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, of course, after having double 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Another scenario could be is a diagonal, right? A diagonal where where we have, of course, a zigzag up, a zigzag down, zigzag up, zigzag down, right? And then one more wave towards the upside. Of course, this is a motive waves, and all of this is gonna be considered, of course, as a wave 1, right? All this diagonal is gonna be a wave 1, and then we are looking for a wave 2 later on. So that in case only that we get one more wave towards the downside, one more impulse towards the downside, which is equal to this one. This is the only case scenario where we can have this. Now, another case scenario, of course, which is also bullish, that this impulse is not a full impulse, right? It could be an A, B, and a C zigzag, right? Where we have, of course, finished. Let's see here. Is it this one? Yes. Where we have finished almost this fib levels at 1, right? The zigzag at the fib level of 1 to 1, taken, of course, from this point to this point, and the B as correction, trend-based extension, and of course, here we go. We got almost around the 1 to 1 fib level, which is perfect for a zigzag. And don't forget that you have already an impulse here, correction, and this also can be considered as well as an impulse. Therefore, it can be a perfect structure for a zigzag. In that case, we can consider only A, B, and a C finished correction after having a double 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we are looking for a wave 3 towards the upside. Now, your wave 3 should be very explosive and very sharp, because this is your wave 3 of 3. If you remember, we have 1, 2 first, and then here double 1, 2, then 3. Because this is already your wave 3 of a major impulse here, therefore this is your wave 3 over 3, right? Which it should be very, very fast. It should have a very strong momentum towards the upside. And of course, it should be very impulsive. So if that did not really appear, so therefore, of course, we are in different scenario. One of the scenarios that I mentioned before, that we possibly are also in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as diagonal, right? Another case scenario where we have already finished a full impulse here as 1, 2. So we already have 1, 2, 1, 2 now, right? And moving up with the wave 3 of 3 is double chances now, right? And it should be very impulsive and massive, right? Especially that we have hit here with the green box of a wave 1, 2 here, right? If we have double 1, 2, we have hit exactly the green box between 0.618 and 0.78. which is perfect for a wave 2, right? So yeah, the possibilities are getting back for bullish scenarios here, right? Where we want to continue our wave 5 towards the upside. So if we look at the daily chart, just to remember our scenario here, because yeah, it has been a long time I didn't mention it, so let's just see it. Here we go. So this is our scenario, our bullish scenario, where we want to see a higher prices for a wave 5 towards the upside, after finishing, of course, a wave 1, 2, 3, and a 4 bottomed exactly on the 0.5 fib level extension, of course, for a wave 4, which is perfect. Now, what we are looking for, of course, is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, which is a perfect scenario for our wave 5 to continue towards the upside. Now, of course, let's come back to our bearish scenario now, possibilities. Again, so let's remove this. Let's become here, okay? All right, our bearish scenarios are the most closest one is an expanding diagonal, right? An expanding flat, sorry, in a wave C. So by all means, if you have this wave 4 here, and you have A, B, and a C, right? Then you have another A, B, and a C as running flat, and you are looking here to an expanding flat A, B, and a C. Your wave C should be 5 waves towards the downside. Therefore, now if we look for 3 waves correction, it might be as well a wave 3 towards the downside, finishing, of course, this expanding flat, right? And we want to finish this expanding flat around the 49,266 and 46,290. In that case scenarios, this is the most closest scenario that you might, of course, have. However, the possibilities are now 50-50, of course, between bearish and bullish until we get this the result of this correction, or if it is impulse. Once we get a result here, guys, then we rise up, of course, the bullish scenario in case we extend over 1-to-1 here. So by all means, I'm gonna zoom in again. If we get, of course, 3 waves here, right, and then we push up, right, it's gonna be a zigzag so far. Once we cross above this price action, the possibilities for bullish scenarios goes very, very high, okay? Very high. So this is your bearish scenario. The most bearish scenario is that you continue with a bigger impulse towards the downside, hitting, of course, between those fib and prices. Now, another case scenario is where you have a wave C in regular flat, where you, of course, have finished your correction. So let's say, I think this is one. Yes, regular flat. Here we go. So let's say we have finished our regular flat. By all means, A, B, and a C finished exactly here, and we have finished A, B, and a C. Very simple. Okay, very simple zigzag, simple flat, and then we are looking, of course, for a zigzag towards the downside, where you have start to see already an impulse here for your first leg of your zigzag. And then you want to see 3 waves up, and then another impulse towards the downside. So this scenario, of course, is also very, very possible, right? Unless, okay, so let's also, put it now 50-50. Unless, again, the same scenario. What happens here now is a moment of decision, okay, guys? What happens today is a decision where we continue bearish or we continue bullish, all right? So these are the most, of course, possible case scenarios for bearish, where we want to see one more wave towards the downside, continuing this as a bigger impulse. Otherwise, if we continue from now towards the upside, then of course definitely we are very, very bullish. Okay, guys, so that's it for a Bitcoin price prediction for today. I think I don't want to make it much more complicated than this. Let's keep it simple as much as possible. Of course, there is a lot of scenarios, but these are the most possible. I just want to keep it simple and focused. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.